My name is Linda Zumoff, and I am the owner of Bella Pizza on Alberta Street. Well, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, born and raised, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom, as many were back in the day, and she was a fantastic cook. She was always on the cutting edge of all the whatever new cuisine was coming out, really even before most home cooks were doing it. So there was a walk in our kitchen in the, I don't know, the mid 60s, before Chinese food was really popular at home anyway. And she was always trying out the latest recipe from Gourmet Magazine. And I grew up with a lot of food happening. Both of my grandmothers also were fantastic cooks. So in my family, love was expressed freely, of course, with words and hugs and emotions, but food was really the way that the love was shared. That's what, we had a big Jewish family, but our house was in the midst of a big Italian neighborhood, Italian and Jewish neighborhood. So I always felt like kind of they were one and the same. Grew up with a lot of Italian food in the house, and my mother taught me how to bake and cook when I was very young. I was following along recipes with her, and one of the most important things she taught me was to clean as you go, which I've always found to be a really wise move, rather than just pile it all up in the sink and let it go. And my father wasn't a cook, but he was a great and still is a great appreciator of food. And so this love for food wasn't just at home, but we also went out and experienced a lot of the amazing restaurants in New York. Well, the pizza at Bella, it started out to be what we called a combination of New York meets, let's see, what was it? Where Naples meets New York is how we described it. Because in New York, when you fold a piece in half, a slice of pizza in half, it's pretty soft, doesn't crack down the middle, and Italian pizza can be a little crispier, and so it's kind of a combination where you could still fold it, but there might be a crack. It's a little thinner, a little crispier, not quite as doughy, and but in general, people consider us thin slice New York style pizza, which we're happy to be known by that. And we make everything in-house. I mean, obviously, when you have a pizza place, there's going to be some things that you have to get year-round. They're going to come out of cans like black olives and massive amounts of artichoke hearts and things like that. But as far as all the basics, we make our dough every day, and we make our sauce. We grate our cheese every day. We make all of our dressings and bases that go on the pie, and cook off and roast a lot of our toppings. So I think that what makes it different than other places is our dough is really good, and our pies are, they're a perfect marriage, I always say, it's a ratio thing between crust, sauce, cheese, and topping. You don't want to overdo any of those, or else you'll have, a floppy slice, or a soggy slice, or a doughy slice. So we like it really streamlined here, and the pies, for the case where the customers come in and get the slices, are bigger than most places, so the slice you get is quite nice and big, and I think that sets us apart too. And we also were one of the first places in town to have vegan pizza by the slice, which is still one of our most popular slices, and we sell that every day. Well, we've been here now, this summer will be 18 years, which is amazing because time really flies, and we've had a lot of support from the neighborhood. We've had children come here as babes in arms and grow up, and the older ones that came as 4 and 5-year-olds off in college, and it's just amazing to see. We used to have a spot on the wall in front where we would measure kids that were our regulars, and it was really nice to see how they've grown over the years, and just be witness to their family and feeding them. And I think it's just part of the fabric to have a pizza place. Where I grew up, there's a pizza place on every corner. There's a lot of people in New York, so obviously you don't need one on every corner here in Portland, but It's a quick food. It's an artistic endeavor. It's made with love, and I think people really gravitate towards it because it's filling and comforting. And so we had a lot of people come in for slices on their lunch hour, bring pies home, come here with the family and with visitors, and sit down in house and eat it. And that has been our bread and butter. But we also love how sometimes we get customers, that come all the way from Beaverton or, Oregon City just to make a destination because they've heard about us. So we really appreciate that. As much as I have a passion for the food and I love being part of the neighborhood, one of the key ingredients of having a business is the fact that you're creating jobs and getting to hire folks that are usually on their way to something else. They're either in school studying for something, or maybe they even want to have their own restaurant or brewery. And the key, I think, is hiring people that understand that this is my baby, and they also know in return that I respect them for who they are, and I like to treat my employees like real human beings. There's only usually about a dozen of us at a time, so I've had people who have told me that, you might not make the most tips here, we might not be as busy as some other places, but the reason that they stay here is because of the feeling that they get and the knowledge that their boss appreciates them. So I think that the mutual respect from employee to boss is super important in retention, and that helps with consistency and the quality of the service and the food. And I think that's a huge kind of not totally recognized part of having a successful business. I have always loved what I do. Ever since I created Bella, I love the hands-on approach of a small business. It's just so few of us here running the show, and every pizza is made differently. They're all individual works of art as far as I'm concerned. So, if people want one slice over another, I understand that's the art that they like. Every day it changes. And I like the interaction with my employees, and I like the interaction with the neighborhood. And there's nothing that makes my day more than someone saying, oh my God, this is one of the best slices in town, or this is better than New York, which of course, that's the highest compliment. But just feeding people and interacting and being a part of their day. This isn't fine dining. This is super casual fast food that's meant to be really warm and comforting. And that, just hitting that mark makes me want to get up and start my day. Because there's lots of different levels of happiness and success. Obviously, success is often seen in financial terms, and you're successful if you could make your bills and have a small profit in your pocket, purely on a financial basis. That is the livelihood of success there. But as far as happiness and feeling successful on a different level, on more of a heart level, I think you're happy if you feel proud of what you do, and you're doing it with your heart, and you're not just going through the motions. I've never gone through the motions here. Maybe on a bad day, but for the most part, it's going on 18 years, and so you're happy if you just have that good feeling when you're coming to work. And of course, having a lot of love in your life is truly the basis of happiness. And I'm really blessed to have an amazing family of origin and a wonderful partner who I met because of this pizza place, because she had the business across the street. So going on 18 years there, and wonderful children. So the blessings of love and community are really a big part of being happy and successful.